Hi and hello to all. This side Priya Rana, and we are heading for the new topic, that is research design. So let us understand the meaning of research design. So if I say that research design is an arrangement of conditions for collection and analysis of data and that aims to combine relevance to the research. Research design is an arrangement, or you can say collection and analysis of the data, so that we can combine the relevance of a research for the purpose of the with economy in procedure, if I say. So research design, we are designing something. So research design is when you are collecting and analyzing the data. For what? Combinedly you are going to put that data for research purpose. That is a research design. So in research design we have to make sure that it contains a clear statement of your research problem, the clear procedure and techniques which you are using for gathering the information. The procedure can be like, it could be historical method, it could be descriptive method, it could be experimental method. And the techniques which you are using, for example, for collection of the data, like for example, if I say that what kind of sampling you are using for that, and the population to you which you are studying, and the methods which you are using for the processing and analysis of the data. Next, one may split the overall research design into the following parts. So, the research design is split into these parts. First is sampling design. In sampling design, you have to select the method of sampling. What kind of sampling you are going to do for your study? It is probability sampling or non-probability sampling. Next is observation design. In observation design, you have to make sure that the conditions under which you are making your observations. Next is statical design, in which you have to make sure that how many items are to be observed and how the information that you have gathered is to be analyzed and which statistical tools you are using for that. Next is operational design. In operational design, you have to make sure that these three activities are to be designed and carried out in a right way. Talking about the characteristics of a research design objectivity, the research design should be objective in nature, it should be reliable enough, it should have a validity, it should have a journalization. That means that it should have the ability to take out something specific and general, which makes sense to the universe. Next is type of research design. We have two types of research, that is exploratory research design and conclusive research design. In conclusive, we have three: descriptive, diagnostic, and experimental research design. So talking about first of all exploratory research design. In exploratory research design, what we are doing is we are researching for the purpose to give a greater insight into the problem. So we are getting a better insight into the problem. For that we are doing exploratory, we are exploring the things to make a research. And here the objective of this research is to evaluate the feasibility of the research project. Feasibility, as I told you, that feasibility means that easily and conveniently done. And formulate the problem statement and what kind of problem you're going to search for, and then provide theoretical basis to the hypothesis. Theoretical basis means the existing theories regarding that particular study. Next is provide alternative options or approaches to the problem. If you think that you have many other options or approaches for that particular problem, you try to fetch that information. And next is establish priorities and possibilities for further research. You have to make sure that you give your better understanding of the further researches on that particular topic. And for exploratory research, you are using non-probability sampling tools. Talking about descriptive research and diagnostic research. See, in descriptive research, this is the meaning of descriptive research, where we are describing the characteristics of the particular individual or a group. Here, we are describing the characteristics of a particular individual of a group or a group. Then, whereas in diagnostic research, studies determine the frequency with which something occurs or its association with something else. So, diagnostic research is the frequency to which the one thing is happening. We diagnose that thing. We try to find out what is the reason behind that thing. So this is the diagnostic research. I can say that in descriptive as well as in diagnostic, both, the researcher must able to define clearly what he wants to measure and what adequate methods he use for measuring that. Now to be continued, if I say that these, if the design is to prepare, then they have to think of these points, that is formulating the objective of the research, designing the methods of the research, and designing the method of data collection, and selecting the sample, collecting the data, processing and analyzing, then reporting the findings. Then the researcher should make sure that if he is using both a descriptive or exploratory, he should able to formulate the objective, then design the method for data collection, then selecting the sample, collecting the data, processing and reporting. Next, moving on. So we have a difference between exploratory and descriptive. See, in exploratory, if I say that overall design in exploratory is flexible, and in descriptive it is very rigid. Why it is flexible in exploratory? Because here we are exploring the things, we are getting greater insight into things. We need a flexible approach, we need a flexible design for that. And descriptive, the things is very much rigid because we are describing the situation of what it is. In sampling design, if I say that exploratory use non-probability sampling design, and it uses probability sampling design. Next, statistical design. No pre-planned design for analysis. It does not have a pre-planned design, but it has a pre-planned design. Next, observational design. It has unstructured instrument for collection of data. It has structured or well thought instruments for the collection of data. And operational design, if I talk about that, no fixed decisions about the operational decisions, the operations which are to be performed in exploratory research, which are not fixed, but here advancedly we have discussed about the operation which we are going to perform. Last one is experimental research design, in which we have to make sure the cause and effect relationship between the variables. If we are doing any research, any experimental research in which we have to find out the cause and effect relationship among the variables, then here the researcher should make sure that he should have a control. He should maintain control and manipulate the variable under study, because in experimental research we have to make sure that we are doing the research under study. We cannot go beyond studies, because it can, in experiments we can go wrong. We have to make sure that the things are under study and we are controlling and manipulating the variables properly. The design pays specific attention to controlling the extraneous variables. Extraneous variables means the variables which are not concerned but they are directly influencing, directly or indirectly they are influencing. So these are extraneous variables. But if they are left unchecked, they have the power to altering the result. If they are not being paid attention, if the extraneous variable are not being paid attention, then and they can alter your results as well. So that's all from my side. So thank you for paying your attention.